Hello friends, we are delighted to be back with another episode. And friends, thanks from the bottom of our heart for encouraging us with your responses. Friends, we would start today's discussion with a question. What is the most dense form of darkness? And young minds, you too try to answer this question. In this context, let's recall what Soren Kierkegaard had to say. He said, there are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what is not true, and the other is to refuse to believe what is true. And that probably is the best definition of the most dense form of darkness. We can also call it by another name, ignorance, as against being informed. It's our experience that human nature, in most of the cases, enjoys in unwittingly, unconsciously basking in ignorance. So much so that if there is someone who approaches us to enlighten, we refuse to embrace his thoughts, embrace his advice. Plato, the famous Greek philosopher, and as we all know, the most favorite student of Socrates, explained this very incisively in his Allegory of the Cave. It is a picturesque, kind of photographic exposition of this theory, that how we get sucked into a habit of ignorance and how we turn hostile to the enlightened person who wants to extricate us from this stupor. In this cave allegory, there are prisoners who are isolated from their birth inside a cave. They are chained and they are so restricted in their movement that they cannot even swivel their neck. And all they have can see is the face of the barren wall opposite to them in the cave. There is a fire, very enigmatic fire, flickering at the back. And there are people with figures in their hands, figures of animals, figures of plants, parading these articles, these images in front of the fire. As a result, there are figures, these figures show themselves as shadows in the wall which the prisoners are looking at all the while. Now, in course of time, what happens is the prisoners get so used to watching these shadows of the plants, of the animals that they start believing this is the reality. There is nothing beyond it. They get into this delusion. Now, in this allegory, there is one prisoner who somehow frees himself. He's freed. And then he gets out of the cave into the open world. In the first instance, he's not comfortable. In this world, there is sun, there are rivers, there are plants, there are birds. He thinks, what is this? Because he was conditioned, he was tuned to the fact that whatever he had so far seen as shadows in the cave facing him, that was his only brush with reality. But gradually, this environment grows on him. He starts seeing the radiance of the sun, the waves in the water, the chirping of the birds, and then he starts getting enlightened. He says, yes, this is the world. This is the knowledge that he gets. And he realizes that whatever so far he had seen in the cave, in the darkness, the shadow against that fire was a delusion, was an illusion, but is not a reality. So he decides to go back to the cave, where he was also a prisoner, to share this experience with his ex-fellow prisoners. But when he enters the cave again, he is ruffled, because by this time he has got so used to the outside world, to the world of light as against the world of darkness, to the world of knowledge as against the world of ignorance, that he feels uncomfortable. And the prisoners who are shackled, they say that probably he's rattled. Something is wrong with him. So whatever he tries to teach to them, that no, look friends, what you are watching is not reality, it's ignorance. Real knowledge lies outside. They don't take him seriously. The prisoners refuse, reject his effort to enlighten them. This allegory has very, very valuable lessons for us, friends. That we should be always on our guard to see whether we are sucked into the gravity well of ignorance. Because it is very easy to get deluded if the windows of our mind are not open, are shackled. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is welcome the persons, welcome the individuals who come to you to share their experiences, so that whatever knowledge, whatever information they have that enriches you, and your personality, your fund of knowledge keeps expanding, keeps enhancing. So 2 things, friend. Ignorance is dangerous. Try to find out a way to come out of this ignorance. I'm not only saying about the formal ignorance. You can be educated, you can be learned, but still you may be ignorant, because you may have been sucked into the world of your own individual biases and prejudices. And that's why welcome the person who offers this light of knowledge, the light of experience to you, so that you do not get restricted in the room which is dark. So this is the allegory of cave by Plato, friends. Thank you, friends. I hope you like this discussion. we'll come out with such discussions on many other subjects. And thank you, friends, again for supporting us. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon.